Okay. Hi again, it's Izzy, and I'm just gonna do a little bit more because I got interrupted again this time. It's like, I'm not meant to film this video or whatever. But this time it was because my phone ran out of storage space, so I had to free up some storage space. And I'm not that good with technology, like you can notice. I don't even know how to make a thumbnail, but I will learn eventually, I reckon. The most important for me is that I do record these videos because it's kind of helpful to me to figure out what happened to me and to lift the confusion. And that's one of the things I felt in the last few weeks. I felt this extreme brain fog, and I don't really know what happened to me. And I don't really know what made me leave my ex-husband. But the last straw was, when I discovered that he was so calculated, and everything was accounted for, and he was never doing anything out of love or out of compassion or to share anything with me. Now it's all pure calculation and it's pure maths, and but he has to do these maths to his advantage, not to my advantage. So he always has to be in the winning category, so to say. He's got to come out on top, and that's why if we split our assets, he can't understand how it's going to be 50-50, because he thinks he deserves so much more, and he deserves to walk away with so much more than I do, because he worked so hard and I did nothing. Bringing up our daughter and looking after the home and cleaning and cooking and doing all these things. Yeah, of course, because I did not, in his eyes, I did not cook for him, and I did not wash for him. I did not clean for him, because he made sure that he did his own washing, he did his own cooking, but he also never helped me clean the house, and he never took the rubbish out for me. And I wouldn't have been able to ask him to do these things because I was so scared of him. And it's just now that I realize how terrified I was of him all these years, that I couldn't even ask him a simple question, or I couldn't even say something. Look, I'm really feeling I'm feeling really sick tonight, and would you be so kind and take the rubbish out for me? No, that would have been he would have been irate about it, and he would have been so angry, and I would have regretted asking him to do me such a favor. So in the end, you don't ask that anymore. And that's where the narcissistic behavior comes into play, because they're so manipulative and so insidious and so clever. He's a very clever man, the way he turns things around into his advantage, that in the end you become a loser. You become that person who loses and who will just shut up and mind their own business and not ask any questions. I never asked him how much money he's really got, because I was too scared to ask that. And now, whose wife or whose husband is scared to ask their spouse how much money they've got? I mean, this is totally ridiculous. And nowadays, in this day and age, we are supposed to be equals, and we are supposed to be open with these things, and not be secretive and hide these things behind our spouses' backs, because then we might as well be cheaters. Because like I said, he wasn't cheating on me with women, but he was cheating on me with his money. He loved his money more than he loved myself. And a lot of the times I felt like, if love is an apple, like let's symbolize the love in our relationship as an apple. And I always ever felt that I was only getting half of an apple and never the full apple. So I was asking myself, where's the other half going? So the other half obviously was going to his money, and he was worshipping. He worships money. Money is his God. Money is his everything. And if you had to choose, and in the end I told him, if you had to choose between money and me, you would choose your money. And I know he would. Absolutely convinced, and I don't need any proof for that he would always choose his money. But now he's in the situation that he's not only going to lose me, his narcissistic supply, and his companion, and the person who stops him from feeling lonely, and the person who's there and who's always there when he comes back from work, who's lies in bed next to him, even though he never touches me. That's another thing. He never used to initiate any intimate relationships, because in his eyes or in his mind that would mean that he owes me something, because I have given him my body. So in his mind that's like a currency, and he would never put himself in the situation where he's indebted to me. And what I found really excruciatingly difficult to accept is that he did not want to maintain our family home, and that was kind of to spite me and to make me feel that I didn't deserve to have a nice home. I deserved to have a home that falls to pieces. And it was more calculated again, that because the home was in both our names, he didn't bother looking after it, and he didn't want to look after it. He became very angry and very enraged as soon as I suggested any improvements or anything that needed to be done. He became absolutely enraged. So in the end, I stopped doing that. I stopped saying, I've noticed that there's white ants in the roof, or that there's a drain that's blocked in one of the bathrooms or toilets. And I did not say that anymore because I was terrified of his reaction. And he made it quite clear that he was not interested in making any improvements to that home, because it was also half in my name. So to him, that investment was not good enough. If it had only been in his name, and if it had been his 100%, then of course it would probably look like a palace right now, and it would be maintained, it would be like the top house in the street. And he always used to say to me, my homes have always been so beautiful, and I was the best of maintaining my house in the street. You should have seen how beautiful it was when I lived with my ex, because with his first wife. And that was a little bit his way of triangulation, to show me all the good things he did while he was with his ex. But he wouldn't do that with me, because obviously I wasn't good enough and I didn't deserve that. I was just a piece of garbage, and I needed to be treated like a piece of garbage. So I didn't deserve to have anything nice. I didn't deserve to have nice furniture. I didn't deserve to have even painted walls. The walls were dirty and full of marks, and I tried to clean them by hand, but it wasn't always effective. And I got one room painted once, my daughter's room, and he didn't contribute to that. I had to pay it all out of my pocket, even though it's our daughter. It's his daughter as well, and it cost me over $1,000, and he would not contribute to that. And so it was very calculated what he did and what he wouldn't do. The house was a big taboo, and I wasn't allowed to bring it up because if I did, he would get enraged. So that's, I think, another proof that I was possibly married to a narcissist, because it was all about him and not about us. It was all about his gain, his profit, and him putting money in the bank for himself, but not for both of us. And towards the end, it's really I opened my eyes to this, and I had sort of my dream about we're going to retire and we're going to do a bit of traveling and we're going to be together. But he had no intention of doing any of that. So to him, it was just work until he drops, basically can't do it anymore, because he loves money so much, that man, that he will do anything to continue working. And he's basically married to his work. He's married to his work, and he's married to his money. And the way he turns things around, and he argues, and he puts forward his arguments, is very irrational. And it was actually his ex-wife who pointed out once, you will never understand how his head works, because he will confuse you, and he will manipulate you in the way that in the end you don't really know whether you start doubting yourself. Is that really so unreasonable of me to ask that, or to want that? And so you become this person who's very humble, meek, and submissive. And I used to be very emotional, but I gave that up because he hates displays of emotion. And so towards the end, I was just suppressing my tears and suppressing my sadness. If that ever happened, I would just cry in silence, or I would just go away, hide somewhere, or go into my car. But I would never ever show him that I was distressed or sad or anything, because he would use that against me. He would later use that against me and call me crazy, or call me too sensitive, And yeah, that's where a lot of the gaslighting came into, happened as well. But I think I will leave it at that because I have more to say about this subject, and I hope that next time I'm not going to be interrupted and I will be able to do this and without being disturbed. And yeah, so thanks, amigos, for listening to me, and I really appreciate I appreciate this time together, and I will see you soon, and forgive my inexistent editing skills, but one day I will learn how to do it, and I will ask my kids to teach me for sure. Bye.